Just before Christmas. Shortly after midnight on Monday the 19th of December, 22-year-old photographer Lorraine Benson was murdered after spending the evening at a staff Christmas party in Clapham in South London. The tragedy is the greater because shortly before she was killed, several witnesses saw or heard things that made them suspicious, but they weren't sure enough to call the police. It's a message to all of us. If any of us sees or hears something that worries us, always notify the police. They really won't think you're wasting their time. Because there are so many clues and sightings of Lorraine that night, there's a better than usual chance that Crimewatch viewers may be able to help identify the killer. Our reconstruction begins to the south of London in Croydon, where Lorraine had been working as a photographer.
Just keep nice and still. A nice big smile for Mum. Come on.
Lorraine worked for a company called Pastel Portraits, which specialises in taking family portraits in department stores. Over the Christmas period, she was based at the Children's World store in Croydon.
And smile. Right? Lovely. Hang on.
Lorraine had a special way with children. She was good at her job and determined to do well.
Beautiful.
When Lorraine left work at 5:30 that Monday evening, she was carrying a carrier bag and a blue holdall with a change of clothes in it. She probably went by train to Clapham Junction. Perhaps you saw her. She'd been invited to a staff Christmas party at the Arding & Hobbs department store in Clapham, where she used to work. She changed out of her work clothes somewhere en route, but the blue holdall has so far not been found. Lorraine was due to go back to work at Arding & Hobbs just after Christmas. She was looking forward to it and seemed to enjoy the party, meeting old friends again. Seven miles away, Sarah Patterson was leaving Rains Park Station on her way home.
Well, I'd been out for the night with some friends to the cinema, and I arrived back on the train from Waterloo at about 11:40. I came onto the tunnel, across the road, and began to walk down Coombe Lane.
Can I walk you home? What's your name? Oh, sorry, I'm Jeff.
I'm Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
The man followed Sarah as she turned into Durham Road. She remembers he was well-spoken and had a nervous laugh. He told her he'd just lost his job in the city.
I used to work for Walker Grenville.
Sarah crossed the road and the man followed no further.
Bye.
Will you go out with me, Sarah?
At about the same time, Lorraine and her friends were leaving the party in Clapham. Lorraine asked two of her friends to walk her to the station. The train for Rains Park was the 11:36 from Waterloo to Chessington South. It arrived at Clapham Junction at 11:44. George Holdsworth had just left the same party. He was looking for a smoking carriage. George and Lorraine had worked together at Arding & Hobbs.
Take care.
What are you doing on this train then?
I'm going to see my mates. Staying the night in his place.
Oh, really? What's that for?
He's gone off to Australia tomorrow, so I'm going down the airport to see him off.
The train arrived at Rains Park at 11:53. George remembers the station was almost empty. As they walked out of the station, Lorraine told George she had to ring her friend to ask him to meet her. So George left her at the phone box.
Right, take care then.
Yeah, and you. Happy Christmas.
Bye.
Hello, Lottie. It's Lorraine. Look, I'm down at the station. Can you ask Peter to come down and meet me?
No, I'm sorry, love. He's not back yet.
Oh, it's all right. It doesn't matter. Look, I'll start walking up on my own. See you later.
Lorraine was never to get there. But several people did see her as she headed down Coombe Lane towards the A3. These skateboarders and this minicab driver were about half a mile further down Coombe Lane and near the road Lorraine was heading for. As the cab driver drove round the Cops Hill roundabout, he saw a man standing on the corner. The man seemed anxious to hide his face. Back near the station, bus driver Brian Laverick was coming to the end of his route.
I'd come out of Rains Park and turn right about 12:10 at night. I was empty, out of service, no lights on the bus whatsoever. I was travelling along Coombe Lane towards Kingston. Then I noticed a girl walking in a white Mac. She was walking alone, she was on her own.
Joseph Cottrell lives halfway down Coombe Lane. Something about that angry shout worried him, and without stopping to put his shoes on, he went outside to investigate. He crossed the road and watched for some time what he thought was perhaps a couple making up after an argument. But he still felt uneasy. He put on his shoes to go out again. Now the street was empty. Alan Fuentes is a Hackney cab driver.
I got to Cambridge Road and I see this couple. The young lady was just standing there, like, facing outwards, and the fella was waving his arms about like they were arguing. But they didn't show out, so I just carried on, sort of thing, and that was it.
And one last disturbing sighting. A couple were driving home past the Cops Hill roundabout.
Do you think she's all right?
Yeah, she's probably drunk.
At about midnight, Jason and Nathan Cook were still skateboarding opposite Cambridge Road.
Jason, did you hear that?
The scream seemed to come from the direction of the allotments. Next morning, police found Lorraine's body near a path that runs alongside these allotments. She'd been strangled. Detective Superintendent David Fielding is in charge of this case. Just to get it absolutely clear to start with, was Lorraine the sort of girl to go off with somebody?
She certainly wouldn't. Lorraine put up a tremendous fight. Her honour was very important to her, and of course she paid the ultimate price. She lost her life. And I feel that someone certainly knows who killed Lorraine, and I ask them to think about it, call us tonight.
The sad thing is that the whole story is full of if-onlys. So many people saw Lorraine in circumstances that concerned them but didn't do anything about it.
Well, Lorraine telephoned home, spoke to her father at about 8:30 that night to say that she wouldn't be home that night. She arrived at Rains Park Station hoping to be met and then would walk along to her ultimate destination. Unfortunately, her friend wasn't there to meet her. After that, she made a telephone call and then she walked down this very wide, brightly lit road facing the oncoming traffic, so she minimised the risks. Yes.
You've seen the sightings that those witnesses saw. What are the gaps now in what you know about Lorraine's walk down Coombe Lane?
Well, we know about the confrontation that she had about half a mile down, but I'm certain that other people in that area saw something suspicious. They may have seen Lorraine either on her own or being followed down the road or arguing with this man who we've seen on the video. And also, it's possible that someone else has seen this character who turned his back on the cab driver at the roundabout. And we want to know who he is and who is the man arguing with Lorraine.
Yes, anybody should come forward. They might have this vital piece of information that might trace this man. There's his description there. He's 6 foot tall, thin, hollow-cheeked, unshaven, dark collar-length, scruffy hair, well-spoken, and he calls himself Jeff. Do you think Jeff and the suspect could be the same man?
It's possible, but someone must know who Jeff is, and I would ask them, come and see us. We've got to speak to him, perhaps to eliminate
There's one
him.
more sighting which could be vital and took place 2 days before the murder on Saturday the 17th of December. A woman was cycling home down the pathway where Lorraine's body was found, and she remembers seeing a man who looked like a tramp and tending a fire. He stepped into her path and forced her to swerve. So again, that tramp could be, again, the same man as Jeff and the suspect you're looking for who was seen Lorraine.
Could be. We certainly want to know who the tramp is and who Jeff is, yes.
Well, finally, we still haven't found a belt that Lorraine was wearing that night. That could provide a clue if somebody could find that.
It's the one item or accessories that is missing, and we certainly want to find it. It's possible that it's been thrown away or hidden even. So, yes, anyone who got any information about that, please come and see us.
If you recognise that or if you can help in any way, I know that the local people feel so strongly about this, they've got together to put up a reward to find whoever killed Lorraine. The number to the studio here is 018118055, or the direct line to the incident room at Wimbledon Police Station is 01541 1212. That's 01541 1212. If you know anything at all that might help, please do ring.